Yo everyone, and welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be doing a review as well as a demo stroke comparison of the brand new Tarte Shape Tape Ultra Creamy Concealer. Now this is not necessarily a new product, but it is new to the UK in that it's finally available here. But there is only one stockist of Tarte Cosmetics in the UK, which is QVC, which is a little bit annoying because that's not generally the kind of place most people tend to go for their beauty needs. However, that's the only place that seems to sell any kind of Tarte products unless you're willing to go onto their US website, pay an extortionate amount for shipping as well as taxes and fees and that sort of thing, then you can get your product. So I was very happy to see that this recently launched on QVC's website, and I decided to purchase it, more so because I'm quite a big fan of the original Shape Tape concealer. Now this one was specifically released in a creamier or ultra creamy format, as they call it, for dry and mature skin types, because the older you get, the drier your skin gets. Whereas this one here was more kind of geared towards oilier skin types and normal to combination, which is actually what I have got. However, obviously for my viewers, I decided to buy this one despite the fact that I don't have dry skin and I don't have mature skin yet. So what I'm going to be doing today is I'm going to quickly go through what their claims are regarding this, and then what I'm going to do in today's video, I'm actually going to talk through the demo, whereas normally I don't, I just kind of talk in the background. I'm going to apply the original under one eye, and then I'm going to apply the ultra creamy one under the other eye, so that you can maybe hopefully see a difference or see how they compare when you apply them side by side. The only thing that I am going to have to say is that when this initially came out, which was what, like 5 years ago, 6 years ago, I don't know, my skin color was very different. Nowadays, because I use sunscreen and acid exfoliants and retinol and that sort of thing, my skin color has definitely brightened a lot. So in the original one, I bought the shade medium, but in the ultra creamy one, I bought the shade 345 medium sand. So you can see here, it's a tiny bit lighter. So if I look on their website, medium is actually called medium skin with neutral undertones. I've actually got very yellowy undertones and warm undertones, so I'm not sure why I bought that to begin with, but either way. Now the new one that I've got in medium sand, it says it's for medium skin with yellow undertones. So it's not too much of a difference, it's more to do with tone. However, I have noticed that obviously this is a little bit lighter. The reason that I've specifically bought this shade also is because I like to have my under eye area a little bit brightened. I don't like to go overboard with the brightening. I don't like that look that a lot of people seem to have of that stark whiteness around their eye area. It just doesn't look right. It doesn't really color correct very well. If you've got dark under eye circles, if you are South Asian like me, or if you've got medium brown skin, a lot of people generally tend to have darker under eye circles. So rather than applying something that can look ashy under the eyes, you need something which kind of color corrects as well as conceals at the same time. And that's the reason why I've gone with this shade rather than something a lot more brighter, which would just look ashy against my skin tone. So altogether there appears to be 35 shades, which is excellent. So it goes from fair to medium to dark to deep dark. So hopefully there is something for everybody. Now let me just read what their claims are. Now it says, our iconic Shape Tape concealer now with a built-in eye cream for 24-hour hydration. What it does: full coverage, natural moisturizing matte finish, ultra nourishing prickly pear for 24-hour hydration for all skin types, especially dry or mature skin. But obviously if you don't have dry or mature skin, you can probably use this. I'll get to that. Leaves skin looking hydrated, never dry or flat. Creamy cushiony formula, won't cake or settle. Skin looks smoother, plumper and more youthful. Cushion tape technology, which is I think their own made up thing, helps smooth and reduce look of fine lines, wrinkles and pores. Waterproof and 12-hour crease proof. And you can also buy a travel size if you decide to buy it directly from their website, just so that you can try it out. So the main points that they have got against this concealer is that it has 24-hour hydration. I don't know who's wearing their makeup for 24 hours. Please wash your face and go to bed. 12-hour crease proof, 12-hour wear, waterproof. And then it contains a whole load of ingredients which they've listed below, which I'll quickly go through. First one being hyaluronic acid, which helps to hydrate and plump. Prickly pear, which is for intensely moisturizing the skin. Ginseng, which helps to calm the appearance of redness. Vegan squalene, which helps to reduce the look of fine lines and wrinkles. Mango butter, which helps to moisturize and condition. Avocado butter, which helps to brighten the look of dark circles. Shea butter, which helps to retain skin's elasticity. raspberry ketone, which helps to increase skin's firmness, and meadowsweet, which acts as an anti-inflammatory. So obviously going by the ingredients, they're going for hydration, they're going for moisturizing, they're going for anti-aging, they're going for anti-inflammatory, antibacterial, those kind of things. So basically everything that you would need from skincare, but not necessarily makeup. Just throwing it out there. I wear a whole load of skincare underneath all this makeup. I like that to be able to do the job, and makeup to just do the job of makeup. However, in this day and age, in 2021, all these brands appear to be trying to combine skincare with makeup. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. So first off, let me just show you. This just comes in a plastic kind of container. I can't stand these kind of containers. It's really pointless and useless. Let me just quickly show you what this looks like up close. So this is the concealer itself, plastic packaging, exactly like the original. And then you open it up, and just like the original one, it's got a nice fat doe foot applicator with that ridged bit in the middle where you can see where the product or most of the product tends to hold, making it easy to apply onto the under eye area as well as all the rest of the contours on your face. And in case you are interested in the difference between the original, this is the original and this one is the new one. Exactly the same kind of packaging, just that this is dark purple, and then the new one has obviously got lilac-y light purple. And then when you open it up, the inside is exactly the same. Exactly the same, no different. Now, in terms of what the claims are, I actually have to agree with all of them. I didn't think that I would love this as much as I did. Now, don't get me wrong, I still think that the original one is absolutely excellent. In particular, if you have got normal to combination or oily skin, because it is definitely a lot more matte than this one. Now, despite the fact that they say this has a natural moisturizing matte finish, it's almost like a slight paradox. Like, can you have moisturizing and have matte at the same time? But somehow, definitely, I believe that they have managed to achieve this. Now, one thing you have to bear in mind is that this must be set. All under eye concealers, no matter what a brand says, must be set. If it is not set, it will crease within minutes, if not seconds, and then immediately you will look aged. Immediately any lines under your eyes will start to be accentuated as the product will pool up in those areas. Now, I don't actually have any fine lines around my eyes, touch wood. So that's skincare, and being brown obviously, always have to set it regardless. Now, if I don't, my normal eyeball lines, which we've all got because we've all got eyeballs, they will immediately start to look aged and start to look as if I have got fine lines, and obviously that's not what any of us want at all. So the best thing to do is to set this. In today's video, I'll be using just what I'm using at the moment, which is the Charlotte Tilbury magic powder, the Genius magic powder. My shade is in number 2 fair stroke medium, but any of your setting powders will do. This is a very finely milled setting powder, and therefore it works really nicely at filling out those areas and making sure that the concealer is set. I've got a beauty blender here by Real Techniques. I'm going to use this for both concealers. I'm just going to switch it around. This is damp, I just washed it before I came here. So first things first is I'm going to apply the original one. Remember, again, the shade is a little bit darker. Now, I actually generally only apply this much concealer, despite the fact that everything you may see on YouTube and Instagram, it's all for show, it's all gimmicky, but in reality, this is about the most that I generally tend to use. So that's medium. It's got a nice cooling feeling under the eyes, and it's slightly thick and a little bit creamy. Now, going in with the new one, which is the ultra creamy one, this one has got a lovely cooling feeling under the eyes, a little bit more so I'd say than the other one, and it's definitely creamier in texture to apply. The other one was a lot thicker, and I'm sure if you look up close, I will zoom in or crop my face so you can see it better. Aside from the fact that obviously clearly this one is more neutral than that one, you can see that this one's almost slightly runnier as well. You can see it's more shiny because it's more liquidy. And now I'm just going to blend out each side, obviously making the weird face. Now, one thing I do have to mention is I know a lot of people are like, we all make the same face. There's a reason for that. Now, when you go like this, you stretch out your under eye without having to pull it with your hands. So it's safer for your under eye area. When you go like that, you're stretching out the area, and therefore you can pat this in to every little nook and cranny and crevice without accidentally missing it. So it's always important to go like that. I know you look like a fish, I know you look weird, but in the end obviously you'll look fabulous. So just gonna blend this under the eye. And I haven't set my foundation yet either, but there you can see very easily blended out. And next I'm just going to flip this round and do the other side. Now, I don't know if you can tell, this one clearly has got more full coverage than this one. Now, aside from the fact that I may have applied a little bit more on this area, I can still see some of my natural darkness underneath. Now, because this one is a little bit more emollient, despite the fact that it's called full coverage, I would actually say it's more medium to full coverage. Because I can, despite the fact that the colours are different, and obviously on camera it still looks kind of stark, but in person I can definitely see that this spreads out a lot more and it thins out as a result of that, and therefore it's not as full coverage as this side. And another thing you'll notice is, look at my sponge. So that is the side which had the original. You can still see it on there. That shows you how thick and full coverage it is. This side, it doesn't even look like it was used, because this is so sheer, it's almost sheared out, and also sheared out into the sponge itself. All right, quickly set it now. I go in slightly heavily and I leave it to, oh God, I hate the smell of this, it stinks. And again, pulling at the face like that, so that the powder gets into every little line under the eyes. I always go in heavier than a lot of people with the under eye powder. However, I don't let it bake. I don't let it sit for ages. While we're chatting, I'm not even going to edit anything out. You'll see me remove it in a second. God, I'm covered in powder. That's one thing. I generally tend to do my makeup like when I'm in my room. I have a dressing gown on so that I don't get it all over my clothes the way I'm doing it now over my lovely sorbet shirt. Alright, I think it's been more than 5 seconds now, so now we're just going to brush it off. Oh God, it's gone into my hair. Just like that. And then same on the other side. Clearly wiped off some of my eyeliner, oops. Normally I would do my eye makeup after my concealer, but obviously for the purposes of the video. Okay, so now tell me if you can tell what the difference is. You can't really. You can't when it's still fresh. For sure, up close. They look pretty much identical. Now obviously using the powder has helped in terms of a little bit of the pigmentation that might have been lost, but generally they look exactly the same. If I touch under the eye area, feels exactly, well, this one actually feels a little bit more matte, and this eye, if I touch it, I detect a slight bit of tackiness. That might have something to do with all those moisturizing properties. So that's just something to bear in mind. Let me just finish off the rest of my makeup and I'll be back in a minute to finish off this review. Okay, I'm back. The rest of my makeup is done, as you can see. So, can you tell the difference between each eye? Not really, and maybe not so much on camera. Again, I'm going to crop my face in and zoom in. So just as a reminder, this was the eye with the original Shape Tape, and this is with the new Ultra Creamy. Now, to look at it like this, you cannot tell the difference. This is something that would require you to, this isn't a mirror, but if it was, go like this. Now, when I have looked up close and definitely compared them, I can tell a very slight difference. I can definitely tell that the one with the Ultra Creamy is not as full coverage. Like I said at the beginning of the video, I can still see a slight, very slight amount of darkness under my eyes, which if this is a full coverage concealer like the claims are, I shouldn't be able to see at all. I can't see anything with this eye with the slightly thicker original Shape Tape. Now again, going back to their claims, it says full coverage. When I hear the term full coverage, to me that means like you can't see any of your own skin underneath at all. Naturally moisturizing matte finish. Yep, most definitely. I can still definitely feel that this eye feels drier than this one. However, maybe that's the whole moisturizing matte that they mean. It still looks matte. It's only when I touch it, and let's be honest, how many of you guys are going to keep touching your under eye area? That's how you get wrinkles. Don't do it. Leaves your skin looking hydrated, never dry or flat. Definitely 100%. It doesn't look dry, cakey, aged, anything like that. For all skin types, in particular dry or mature skin. Again, I would definitely agree with that as well. Like I said, I've got normal to combination skin, and I find that I can use this concealer perfectly fine. It's just that if you were in the position where you had to decide between the two, definitely go with what your skin type is. Creamy, cushiony formula which won't cake or settle. Yeah, once you've set it, obviously. But yeah, it is creamy and has got a cushiony kind of texture. Waterproof? Okay, I don't know. It hasn't rained in the UK for like 2 weeks. What do you want me to do? Throw water at my face? 12-hour crease proof now. So when I first wore this, I put it on in the early afternoon, so maybe 11, 12 o'clock, midday-ish. And I had it on all day. I was cleaning my house, doing housework, whatever. Then I went out in the evening with friends. I went out to dinner. We were out quite late, chatting, laughing, had heaters on us, that sort of thing, because we were sitting outside, and it did not crease at all. It looked absolutely great. And even they said to me, when I said to them, how does this new concealer look under my eyes? Both of them said the same thing. It looks great. It looks amazing. It hasn't creased, moved, anything. It looks fresh, like you just put it on. And by the time I got home and by the time I got to bed, it was like 2 in the morning, not 3 in the morning, about 2 in the morning. It was still fresh. It had only developed one slight crease in the corner, but that was only on one side, not the other side. So I think that might have been a bit of a blip, and maybe because I didn't put enough powder in that one particular area. But I actually find that it goes beyond 12 hours, which is great. Hydrating and lightweight, yep, definitely. Doesn't look or feel dry or cakey, 100%. Under eyes look smoother. My under eyes look smooth. Makes you look less tired. Well, I hope so. Covers dark circles and blemishes well. It depends how dark those dark circles are. And I'll be honest with you guys, I don't use concealer on my face. I believe that my foundation should be able to do that job for me. I don't like to do spot concealing and that sort of thing. I just go with full coverage or medium coverage if I really need to, and I just leave it at that. But from going with the dark circles, I would hope that if you were to apply it to your face, you would dab it with your finger rather than with a damp beauty blender, which would then suck up some of the product and shear it out a lot more like it did under my eyes. 24-hour hydration, again, I've already said that, go to bed. Yeah, you shouldn't have it on for 24 hours. But overall, what can I say about this? I think it's a pretty good concealer. I'd give this a 9 out of 10. The reason I haven't given it a 10 is because, like I said, I could still detect a slight amount of darkness under the eyes. And I think it's great, it's excellent. Let me just smell it actually. It's got a slight scent. It's nothing horrible. It's slightly floral. Let me see this one. It smells different to this one. This one had a slightly more chemically, but still relatively pleasant scent to it. You can't smell it when it goes on your face. It's just if you obviously stick it right up to your nose. And it's also 10ml, which is not bad. And I think I paid £20 for this. It's not a cheap concealer by any means. It's definitely on the more pricier end. But again, it's completely up to you whether or not you want to spend that kind of money on this concealer. So that's it for my review of the brand new Tarte Shape Tape Ultra Creamy Concealer. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Like, comment, make sure you subscribe to my channel, hit the notification bell so that you know every time a video of mine goes up. If you've got any comments or questions about this, let me know. I'm sure quite a few of you have already tried it. What were your thoughts when you tried it? Did you like it? Did you hate it? Did you prefer the original to this one? Personally, I prefer the original, but obviously everybody's different. On that note, I will love you and leave you and see you all in the next video. Bye!